Just want to welcome you and appreciate you joining us and taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us for this topic. What is a FMO and what to expect? So, kind of a little different subject matter than what we normally do on Fridays. And part of it's due to the fact that over the last couple of years, we have been getting a lot of questions from agents, feedback from agents about their experiences with an FMO or what they think an FMO is, or some misconceptions about FMOs. And we felt it was important for you to understand kind of the landscape amongst this industry, the layers that may exist, and what makes sense for you and your business, and also some areas to pay close attention to, things that you may want to avoid to cause disruption or problems with your book of business in the future. So we'll go through some of those, and we hope this is just an informational video to give you some information, details that can help you make better decisions with your partnerships in the future. And again, hopefully answer some of those questions and concerns that we have heard over the last couple of years. So let's get into our presentation. Let's see. Okay. And this one's, more for the, fun side of this, but we laugh in the insurance industry that we love our acronyms. And that definitely holds true in this case. FMOs, you've heard of IMOs, NMOs, GAs, MGAs. These are real things. And today we're going to talk, of course, more about the FMO, or if you were to, understand the full meaning of that, that is a field marketing organization. And now, depending on the product line, I know the life and annuity industry tend to refer to organizations more as an IMO, maybe an NMO. And again, at the end of the day, most of these acronyms really refer to organizations that are have a special contract with the insurance carriers to deliver services, support, training, and other things to you as independent agents. But again, probably one of the more widely known or heard of acronyms here would be the FMO. If you're in the health space and the Medicare space, that's what it's more commonly referred to. And I'm sure through this presentation, you might even hear another acronym or two that I use. And again, we just happen to love acronyms in insurance. So FMO, Field Marketing Organization, we're not going to talk about all of these today, although we are going to kind of talk around these, and you may understand that ultimately these levels exist because somebody you're working with today, somebody you partnered with maybe currently or in the past, may come across in the future, they may hold one of these contracts, hold one of these positions, and just understand that you want to make sure you're aligned with the proper organization at the proper level so that they can deliver the support and services that you're promised and that you're, of course, in need of. So these are just some of the industry-wide acronyms that we tend to utilize on a frequent basis. So let's talk a little bit about what is the true purpose of an FMO. Is it really needed for you to align yourselves or to work with an FMO? Now, in some cases, in the way the industry has become structured over the years, the answer to this is yes. Some carriers, of course, have a model that really requires agents to work through an FMO, MGA, or one of those other acronyms that we referred to on the previous page. And we'll get into some of the reasons why that is when we go through the history of an FMO. But one of the things we've heard in the past, which is somewhat concerning, is FMOs, I've worked with them, they're terrible, they don't do anything, I had a horrible experience. And that's unfortunate. And we understand that sometimes maybe it's there's not the right connection. Maybe that's not the right relationship for you. Maybe you did have a bad experience. Maybe the organization wasn't set up properly. Maybe it wasn't designed to help in the areas that you most needed it. So, again, there are a lot of great FMOs out there. The purpose of an FMO, when you really start to break down what their role is, makes a lot of sense, both for the insurance agents and for the insurance companies. So we want to talk a little bit about today, what are the good ones? What makes up the good ones so that you don't have that type of experience where you say, hey, I've worked with FMOs, they're terrible, don't waste your time, don't get involved with one, because that's really not an appropriate view or a view of the majority. Maybe those are some of the select few or just circumstances and situations that happen to yourself, which are unfortunate. I was actually, I've been associated with and working with the FMO side of the business for about 23 years now. So again, I too have seen and worked with and been part of organizations, the good, the bad. And some of those do have their drawbacks. Some of them have their strengths. And that's what we'll talk more about today. And some of it can be very simple. And there are certainly red flags that you want to look out for. And as a matter of fact, I was on at a Medicare conference as one of the speakers and a panel guest on, what makes a good FMO, what FMOs are supposed to do. And it's very interesting. There's 4 or 5 of us as FMOs talking about what we do and why we do these things and how we're there to benefit the agents, support the agents, and help them grow their sales. And, but we did talk a little bit about some of the feedback we get from agents who, may start working with our organization and the past experience was not good. They couldn't get return phone calls, even just very basic stuff. So those organizations, they do exist, and it's unfortunate. But if you see that happening, you may want to just quickly move on and find the right partner for you. So let's talk a little bit about the history of the FMO and why it does make sense. So for example, going back when I got into the business 23 years ago, the organization I worked for was a captive agency, which is where I started. And they also had an independent brokerage division back then called the marketing division, which essentially was the first of kind of the FMO model. And back then, the FMOs were asked to do quite a bit. A lot of the insurance companies, technology wasn't up to the speed it is today. There's a lot of things that insurance carriers were not set up for that they ultimately were being asked by their field representatives to offer. And so what they started to do was talk with some of their larger sales organizations who had those structures, who had those teams and those strengths that could go out and help independent agents who wanted to sell these products. Now, the FMO I worked with and for, we did a lot of things back then. We actually took on the role in many cases of a TPA, and there's another acronym, but that refers to a third-party agency. And those organizations do still exist. A lot of insurance companies act as one. Some utilize third-party administrators that are independent TPAs, and they do a lot of work behind the scenes. So the FMO I worked for, we took in new business, we scrubbed applications, submitted it to the underwriters. We had to track the premiums, commissions. We were responsible to mail out policies back then. We didn't really have email to the degree we do. A lot of things were done through the mail, through the fax machine. We had to pay commissions. We had to train the agents. We had to make sure they had their supplies. We had to fully support the agent on basically everything. The insurance carrier really just issued the policies and paid claims. And we had to do everything else. We had to program and create systems to pay commissions and track renewals. And we worked with some large international companies that are, in the US operating as insurance companies, and we had to do that for them. Now, over the years, of course, insurance companies have taken on many of those roles. But when we get into the Medicare Advantage space, we were responsible for the training and the certifications. We were responsible for, again, much of the needs of the insurance agent on a day-to-day basis. And it makes sense for the insurance company because, of course, the insurance company, they want to grow and expand. They want their sales to grow. They want to work with more independent agents like yourself. But it's tough to make sure that you're set up properly to handle all of those needs and demands of independent insurance agents. The insurance companies know what they do well, and they want to keep doing that well. And when it comes to sales, when it comes to working with the field agents, when it comes to supporting their needs and understanding their needs, there is a little bit of a disconnect. And so insurance companies, instead of having to go hire all of these individuals, managers, sales teams, and layers of support, they essentially went to the organizations that already were doing it for them and doing it well and said, hey, please help us expand our agent footprint, market our products, recruit agents, and help support those. And that was kind of the early days of the FMO. And so through the years, the FMO model has changed a bit. What's required of an FMO has changed. In some cases, it's by carrier, it's by product line. Some newer carriers, maybe smaller regional carriers, might really lean on an FMO for many of those services, both sales, marketing, and even administrative. Other carriers may not ask as much as their FMO. And so, again, it just kind of depends on that structure. Some of the FMOs who have been around for a while, who have done this for a long time, understand that. They have systems in place, they have things ready to assist you. Now, some of the newer ones aren't used to that. They may be more in line with helping to take a contract, maybe answering questions, maybe making sure that concerns or issues are corrected. And maybe that's the extent of what they do or what their infrastructure is set up for. So again, that's where you may come across some that maybe aren't as sophisticated and may not understand how to help you in those broader areas. So that's kind of the history of an FMO, why it was created, and how it was designed to both help the insurance companies and you as agents. And we're going to talk a little more in detail as we get into what makes up a good FMO, what to look for, and what to maybe avoid if you're out there hunting. Now, let's talk a little bit about current FMO models. Now, I've kind of gone over this as we've talked through the history of the FMO, but you're going to find that some FMOs are set up on a more national basis, maybe have the broader spectrum of products across life, health. Maybe they do securities products, maybe they do P&C. But most of them you'll find kind of have a sweet spot, or they have a product line or an area that they really understand and specialize in. And there's nothing wrong with that. But certainly we know that some are set up to kind of handle products and have a broad portfolio to help you, because of course your clients are going to have different needs. They may refer you to someone, they may have family members, friends that they refer you to. They all have different needs. And you want to make sure that you're working with somebody that of course can help you with those other product lines. And I talk to and know and have worked closely with other FMOs that just specialize in certain things. Maybe it's just life insurance, maybe even just final expense, or maybe it's just Medicare Advantage. And that's okay. If they do what they do well, that might be the right partner. But if you tend to find that you need something that's a little more broad, you may need to look elsewhere, or you may choose to use different FMOs for different reasons. That's always a possibility too. Some are designed that they're really more geographic. So maybe they only serve a few states. Maybe their product portfolio is designed to really accommodate those states. And some we're seeing more and more local FMOs that really just operate in a single state or maybe a part of a state. So, you've got your national organizations, bigger, larger, who have been doing this maybe for a much longer period of time. And then you have maybe some of your smaller organizations. And there's nothing wrong with small. Sometimes they can be a little bit more hands-on and work with you to a greater degree if they're set up for that. So it's not that that's bad. It's just that that's what may exist out there. And you may want to pay attention, though, and make sure that some of these smaller organizations are going to have the infrastructure and the team of people that will be able to help you in the ways that you need it. The next one we wanted to talk about is, do they take from my commissions? And this is a question that we hear. I think many just assume that that's the case, and that's really not the case. What what insurance companies have done is they've essentially created what they have as agent levels, agent commission levels. Those of you who are out there working with their products, representing and selling those products, and they essentially have created levels and commission levels assigned to those agents. And they may have some steps up from those levels, steps down from those levels, depending on your production level, or if you have other agents working with you. So, an FMO really doesn't take from your commission levels. See, FMOs, when they work with an insurance carrier, that's a whole separate contract that was created specific to those organizations and what they're able to bring to the insurance company. And there's a lot that goes into acquiring those contracts. There is, in some cases, heavy compliance and technical needs, systems requirements, marketing plans with forecasts and projections and growth, where the expansion is going to take place, all of the elements to those growth and expansions. And in many cases, that also comes with heavy requirements for maybe thousands of enrollments or hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars in new business premiums in order to maintain those levels. So something far beyond what even some of the best individual producers could ever grow into. You really have to have the structure to be out there recruiting agents, bringing more agents in, helping them into the sales process, and helping them produce in order to do our job effectively and in order to meet the demands of the insurance companies to maintain those levels. So due to that, we really don't take anything from the insurance agents. We are simply negotiating a separate contract with the insurance carrier. As a matter of fact, in the Medicare realm, which we do a lot with, CMS has put a ceiling on the Medicare Advantage commissions to an individual writing agent. Now, we may be able to help agents offset costs and do other things, but ultimately CMS has set that ceiling, and the FMOs, they work with the insurance carriers to make sure that they are filling a role, and they do earn a small admin fee or override, you may call it. So again, not taking from your commissions. Now we're going to talk a little bit later about red flags and pitfalls associated to commission. So there are some occasions that you need to pay close attention to, but the majority of the time, an FMO is not there to take your commissions, or doesn't affect your commissions at all. And in some cases, even with some insurance companies, we may have higher commissions than what the insurance company even offers. So maybe in those settings, an insurance agent would be better off with an FMO and actually be earning more. So it seems maybe a little counterintuitive, but that is reality. So certainly working with the right FMO can help all over, and maybe even including on the commission side. Another question we get is, should I put all of my contracts with one FMO? And that's a tough one to answer. That really depends on you, your needs, your future growth, and what you expect the FMO to do for you. If you want to keep everything in one place and they can support that and they can make sure all of your questions are answered, things are taken care of, and you just go to one source with a team that can go to work for you and make your life easier, maybe it is better to be or have a majority of your contracts with one FMO. Again, most FMOs can't have every product under the sun, so you might have to look at other FMOs, and there's nothing wrong with that, but maybe for ease and convenience, if you find the right home, maybe that's where you want to have a good majority. In other cases, again, where FMOs may specialize in certain areas, or you might need very specific tool or resource, maybe it's a proprietary resource, then you may need to go to another FMO. And if you find the right one and they provide you what you need, there's nothing wrong with having a few of those that may serve their role. And, it may encourage them to do a better job for you, to even, show you opportunities to grow with them and bring in more contracts and work with them to a greater degree. So again, there's really no great answer to that, but you shouldn't have to put all of your contracts with one, but you may choose to, and that might be the right fit and makes sense for you. Let's talk a little bit about, now we talked a little bit about FMOs, other layers of service. Then there is something that we like to refer to ourselves as a full service FMO. Now, again, you may work with an FMO, you might have certain needs, and they're satisfying those. Those are great. Us and others try to be a little more on the full service side, kind of a bridge between a captive and a full independent field marketing organization. You know, many of those large organizations, they may be helpful at getting contracts put through, maybe answering some concerns or questions. But what are you getting outside of that? And at Insurance Advisors Direct, we essentially, considering ourselves a full service FMO, we have created a model and a platform that we work from and concentrate diligently on what we call our 7 pillars of success. And you can see some of those here represented by sales tools. We spend a lot of time working with our team. Much of our team have spent their careers in the field selling these products. So we take that experience, we take the training that we received and that we trained other agents over these many years and helped to become successful. And we put those sales tools into kits and marketing pieces and other things that you can draw from. So you don't have to go do that work. You don't have to figure it out for yourself. You don't have to hire a team of people or learn by doing it wrong and then making corrections. We come in for our product lines and have all of those sales tools at your fingertips. We also do a lot of training on those sales tools. We do virtual events. We do live events now. Those are coming back. We do conferences all over the country, and they're all designed around the agent and what the agent's needs are from a business building perspective, not just product, but from sales and from marketing and business building practices and a whole host of things. Because again, knowing what it takes to be successful as a field agent, we want to equip you with those things. We have the technology from quoting tools to enrollment platforms to a website with a agent portal that provides you with access to tools and marketing pieces, and again, more quoting tools and video training, universities, and all the things that you may find a need for. Now, again, we're talking from a pretty broad perspective because there are agents that are maybe brand new to this business. Maybe there are some of you that are more experienced and kind of experts in your field. Maybe you don't need as much of those items or tools. But again, they are available to all levels and all experience levels of insurance agents. Again, we tried to create stuff from for the beginners all the way up to the advanced and the experts. And in some cases, if all you need is a great back office team, we have those as well. We have people that handle contracting, commissions, our agent perks programs, people that you can call for supplies, help with AHIP, other certifications, and really everything you need, you can go to our team of specialists to get that taken care of. And again, if it's for multiple products, multiple carriers, that in many cases would be much easier for you. Don't sit on hold for an hour with an insurance company. Put it on your FMO, put it on their team and make them go get those questions answered, those issues taken care of, so you can spend more time with your clients and out there building your business. So administrative team is important. Somebody that picks up the phone, somebody that responds quickly with answers, or one that jumps on those issues that you may be having and gets those corrected quickly. So admin support is key. Lead generation, we still hear a lot about lead generation. And even today, lead generation is becoming a bit more difficult. So we're actually doing a whole series on best practices with lead generation. We're introducing new lead partners that you can utilize to expand your outreach to the community and to growing your business through other sources. We have co-op programs. We have free lead programs. So when you come in and talk to us and say, hey, either I'm looking at getting into a new product line, or I really need to ramp up my sales in a specific area, where do I go? What do I do? Well, we can point you to those lead sources, or we can help you to see how you can expand or cross sell to your current client base, or reach out to your community to be introducing these products. Again, we have full turnkey lead sales and marketing systems to help guide you in that path. And again, we work with successful agents all over the country that do this day in and day out. We pull from those experiences. We talk to them. We share that with our agents on various platforms to let you know what best practices are out there, how to reduce your acquisition costs, how to reduce your lead costs while growing your sales. Those are all things you should be getting from an FMO because it saves you money, it saves you time, and it helps you grow your sales. Marketing services, another key when it comes to either lead generation or getting yourself out there, making yourself available and visible to the community, whether it be through websites. We build our websites for agents. We help them with their social media platforms. We build marketing pieces of all kinds. Within our website, you can go on and view marketing pieces. You can click on those. You can download those. You can put in your information, upload your logos. We will, with our graphics team, customize those, send them to you in a print-ready format. Again, really any and all things that you need to be better equipped to market yourself. We've done full sessions on how to utilize technology from marketing platforms to CRM tools to make you more efficient, to help you grow your sales and do it in an economic way. So we can help with those business building practices, but marketing is a huge thing. And a lot of agents don't do it because they don't know how, they don't know who to go to, they don't know how to get pieces created, they don't know how to use the technology platforms. We help take that on and help you to become more successful using those, but make it easy. And then having a broad product portfolio. Again, there's nothing wrong with an organization choosing to focus on key specific products or maybe just offering a couple of products, but that partnership may greatly limit what you're able to offer to your clients, what solutions you can bring to the table, or what solutions they can even educate you on if they're so focused on just that niche. So we offer a full product portfolio, 15 plus product lines between group, individual, over 65, under 65. So we, again, can help accomplish what it is that you need and what solutions you need brought to the table for your client and to do the best job possible. So again, you want to make sure that they have a nice broad product portfolio, but maybe something that's not so broad that it just becomes overwhelming, like they've tried to check every box possible. You know, we handpick our product lines and our carriers for very specific reasons, for specific areas, specific territories that we have agents in. Sometimes they're specific to an underwriting need or an application need. So again, we're very selective on who makes it to our product portfolio list, but a very, very comprehensive list is important for agents in today's day. Let's go to our next one. Now, this is important too, and we'll talk in a moment about what things to look for, but there are some things to look for and to avoid. You know, those are some of the pitfalls. These are some of the red flags that we want to bring up because we talk to agents on a daily basis to go, oh, I didn't realize I did that. You know, how did I get into this situation? I didn't know I was doing that. So you want to be cautious. And many of these are maybe some of your smaller regional organizations. Maybe they haven't been around as long, and maybe they're just not set up to be a true FMO, but maybe they happen to have a contract that says they're an FMO. That does happen. But be extremely careful if an organization asks you to do an agent of record of your book of business over to them. That should be an absolute no. Unless you're selling your company and your clients to them, there is really no need for you to move your book of business or your agent of record. They now have complete control of your business, those commissions, those clients, everything. In a sense, the insurance company doesn't recognize you as that agent anymore. So be extremely careful of signing anything, pay attention to some of the paperwork you're signing. We've heard horror stories where the agent signed it, thought it was part of the contract, thought they were still independent, thought they owned their book of business, and realized they just AOR'd their business over to a new organization. And the second problem is then when we ask, well, do you have a contract with that organization that obligates them to pay your renewals, to release you if you ever choose to move? Most cases, they say no. They thought what they signed was a contract with the insurance company. And really what they did was they turned full control of their book of business over to another entity. And that's a bad situation to be in. And you hope that you're able to correct that and it doesn't create any problems with your income stream or your clients, but it has, and we've seen it. So be very careful of that. The other part to that would be commission assignment. We see a lot of organizations that are starting to ask for commissions to be assigned to them, that they need to pay you for one reason or another. Now, there are some insurance companies, usually the smaller ones, that may need an FMO to pay commissions. Maybe they need that FMO to process new business. Those are select situations, and that is just what that FMO has been asked to do for that insurance carrier. So that may exist. But what I'm talking about is different. This is when an organization really wants you to assign your commissions to them. And in many cases, that's the LOA agreement, a license only contract. And that means, yes, you're appointed to sell for that carrier and you're appointed with this organization, but you have now assigned your commissions to be paid to that organization. What that means is they now have full control of your commissions, first year renewal, and you need to make sure that they're going to pay you those commissions as you've agreed. You're also going to want a secondary contract that says what they're responsible to pay you for and how often and more details. And if you ever want to leave, that you would be able to take those commissions with you. Because again, in the mind and the eye of the insurance company, that commission now belongs to that agency or entity that you turned it over to. So be very careful when you're signing paperwork, making sure that you're not signing an LOA agreement or that you're not signing your commissions to somebody else and that you're now losing control of that. The other thing we've heard from time to time are fees. Now, it depends on what those fees are associated with. There might be some legitimate programs and services that could be extremely costly. And maybe as part of your relationship, they've opened the door to a program that you may need to contribute to. So I'm not talking about that, but I recently came across an agent that was required to pay $300 a month just to have a contract with an organization. They didn't do anything more. It didn't give him or her access to anything extra. It was just an added fee because they were holding her contract and had to pay commissions and do other things. And again, it was kind of a worst case scenario. And talking to us, realized that that's not really how an FMO operates. There shouldn't be any fees. In fact, all of our platforms, services, enrollment platforms, quoting tools, marketing services, it's all free of charge. All you have to do is be contracted with us to have access to those services. And that's the way it should be in many cases. Slow or no response. If you're not getting those return phone calls, if you're not getting return emails, or they're just not responding to you after multiple attempts, that's a bad sign. And it's probably time to put your contracts elsewhere and not to put any more business with those organizations. Make sure you can move your contract, get a release from them. And that's another issue. Make sure that if you're working with an organization that they have some sort of release policy. If the insurance company doesn't, that the organization you align with does have some sort of policy. Limited ability to assist. Again, what are your needs? What do you have to use that FMO for on a day-to-day basis? Is that company equipped, or are they very much just equipped in one specific area? They can get you contracted, they can answer a few product questions, and beyond that, that's the extent. So you want a partner that can hopefully help you in many ways, to help you grow your business, to help you grow your sales, to be more efficient, to make more money, to help your clients with solutions that make more sense. So no doubt you have to sit down and think about what's important to you and what you're looking for, but be cautious of organizations that are very limited in scope or cannot help you with additional training, support, and sales needs that you may have. Even if it's not consistent in the future and when you do need it, then it's important. Minimum contract requirements. We've heard of this becoming a trend as well, where maybe you only have one or two contracts with an FMO and they say, hey, I can't really service, I can't support you, I can't send out those supplies, I can't do much for you because you just don't have enough with us. It shouldn't be that way. We have no minimum contract requirements. You have access to special tools and services, even if you just have one contract with us. Now, we're going to try and prove to you and earn your business with other products, but we have to earn that relationship. But we're going to treat you the same as we do an agent that has 15 or 20 contracts with us, and you'll have access to our services. So be real careful if an organization is demanding that you have a set amount of contracts in order to get service. It shouldn't be that way. And again, you should have the opportunity to choose where you put your business, and you may choose them for a few contracts. You should be treated just the same, and then you can maybe choose someone else for other contracts, but there should be no minimum requirements. Now, what are some of the things you should look for and examples of what a true or a good FMO would offer? Now, I walked you through some of what we offer as a full service FMO. Here are some of the other examples. So sales training. Now, maybe you don't need it for the core product lines you work on, but maybe you want to expand your sales into other product lines. Can they help you expand into those product lines? Do they have the people and the experience to offer the sales training? Marketing assistance. Can they help you market yourself better so you can be more visible, stay in front of more people, and of course, make more sales? Lead generation, back office support, underwriting assistance, a case design team. You know, that's a huge thing. If you call up and you're not quite sure what to do, and you have these clients and you have their situation and you have their needs and you have everything compiled, but you don't know how to go hunt for the proper solutions, having a good case design team that you can hand that to can go out to the multiples of insurance carriers and put together a full strategy for you and your client. It's a big time saver for you and a nice professional way to put something together for your clients. Selling tools, agent perks programs, co-op programs for leads, marketing, maybe business overhead expenses, enrollment platforms, quoting tools, one-on-one coaching, industry events, updates, and a broad carrier and product line offering would be important too. So as I mentioned, if you can find an FMO that checks many, if not all of these boxes, or you make a list of what's important to you or what's needed, and if they can check all of those boxes, you've probably found a good FMO to work with and a place to put your business. Of course, keeping in mind those red flags. Make sure that if you talk to them and ask those questions, that none of those are part of the relationship moving forward. So hopefully this has given you some good food for thought, a good education on what an FMO is, what an FMO should be doing for your business, helping you to grow and helping you into the future as industries change, as new carriers come around, as new product opportunities exist. Are they adapting and growing so that you can adapt and grow to the needs of your clients and the needs of those industries? So again, if you have more questions, if you'd like to talk to us further about how Insurance Advisors Direct as a full service FMO can help you, we would love to have those conversations. You can meet with myself, one of our sales teams members, one of our managers, to talk more about what your needs are and how we can create or what solutions we have that exist that can help you to support your sales growth. Do we have any questions at this time? Okay. It doesn't look like we have any questions. again, there is my contact information, or if you go to our 800 number and you want to ask for an available sales representative, if I'm not available, please do so. You can see our website down there. Please explore that. Please go out and look at what we have to offer. And I just got to thank you here. So you're welcome. We appreciate you being with us. Thank you for spending some of your Friday with us. And we hope this has been beneficial. So with that, we'll conclude. Let you get back to the rest of your day. Again, thank you for joining us. We certainly look forward to earning your business, look forward to working with you, and look forward to our next upcoming events and our sales meetings, our Friday webinar series, our Wednesday webinar series. We hope that those are of value to you. So again, thank you and have a great weekend.